Hello and welcome to episode 321 of the Drive the Green podcast. I'm your host, Maddie B., joined in studio by Bronell and Canoop. Harv's, I don't even know where he is this week.
Lake, I think.
He's just at the lake.
Oh, is that it?
Just couldn't call in.
Just at the lake. Harv's at the lake enjoying plus 12 degree weather, I guess. On this episode, we're going to recap Xander Schauffele finally breaking through at the 104th, I can't remember what it was, 104th PGA Championship. Finally breaks through. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about plenty of storylines, including Scottie Scheffler getting arrested, Bryson becoming one of the most liked golfers on the planet, much to Bronell's dismay. Yep. Well, you may not like it, but he is moving the needle. And plenty other storylines to talk about this week. And then at the end of the show, we're going to talk about the Colonial. Canoop's going to bring up a little bit of a preview. Oh, and the Moose Jaw Warriors are WHL champions.
That should have been the lead.
Yeah, maybe. It's in the opener.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, we want to thank our sponsors, Player Golf, PLYRGolf.com. Use the promo code DRIVETHEGREEN for 20% off your order. All of the new stuff's now online. Congrats to friend of the pod, Jordan B., for his win at the Player Cup Tor Hill, which is this past weekend. I don't know what his partner's name was, so sorry to his partner.
That's news. Okay.
Yeah, that's the player lead-in. So
Yeah,
another Player Cup in the books,
yeah.
and we're only 2 weeks out of the focal point of the Player Cup schedule, the Elk Ridge match play, which we will be attending. Canoop will not, because he's got another trip planned. So,
Well, it's a wedding, so it's
well, yeah,
a little less of
you
a
couldn't
trip, but
you
yes.
couldn't actively double book yourself.
Where is it again?
Someone
LA?
else did.
Yeah, like just north of LA.
Yeah.
Where you just were.
Palm
Pretty
Springs.
much
You were
Palm
just there,
Springs,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not that close to it.
I know, but you were just in California.
Yes.
We're also watching the Oilers laying a licking, spanking the Canucks bare bums here in Game 7. We're also members of Team Callaway, so is Xander Schauffele. So another feather in the cap for the Callaway team as he wins the PGA Championship. We'll talk more about us on the golf course and using our own Callaways here shortly in our weeks. I'm having a Churchill lawnmower. Bronell's also having a lawnmower. Canoop, I thought you were going to have a white. But
He's on the
guess
sodas
not.
tonight.
Sodas. He's having a sody.
I've never seen this before, so I got to try it.
Yep. And last but not least, we're also proudly sponsored by Mecklenburg Financial Group. Our first whole vlog by them came out this past week, Canoop playing PGA West Nicholas Tournament. So as I mentioned, and I will continue to mention for at least the next calendar year, if you're thinking about moving some money around, send it to Rich and the boys at Mecklenburg Financial Group. They'll take care of you. So, and
Yepper.
they're also the presenting sponsor of the Player Cups this year. So,
How many of them playing next week?
well, Rich is my partner from Mecklenburg. I'm sure Sim and Mark will be up there as well. So we'll see plenty of those boys again. And as mentioned, you may have seen Mecklenburg on many of the player posts. That's because they sponsor the Player Cups.
Yep.
Okay, let's talk about our weeks.
We might as well start off with, the week for everybody. And because Canoop was actually at one of the games.
Yeah, so...
did you go to Game 4, too, or just Game 3?
Just Game 3.
So now that they've won, the secret can be out. We posted on our story. Last Monday, in between Games 2 and 3, we played the 4 World Junior players on the Moose Jaw Warriors in a match. That's going to be coming out soon, probably in a few weeks.
Player
sponsored.
lit them up pretty well with some new apparel. Looked pretty good.
Yeah, and we're not going to give any spoilers away, but stay tuned for that, where we played Savoy, Jaeger, Matejchuk, and Furcus. A lot of fun. I hope it comes through in the content.
Man, were we nervous during Game 3, though, that we were going to lose that game?
We thought we were going to jinx them. We really did. So luckily they were able to sweep, and now the Warriors are going to the Memorial
I was
Cup.
worried about everything. Injuries, you know, guys
telling them to not swing too hard.
Them watching me suck and then thinking that maybe they suck at hockey, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
just all things. Everything possible
went
thing
through
was
my
going
head.
through
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
thanks
those
to
four
boys.
didn't look that great to start Game 3. To be honest, the first period they didn't play that well.
We thought we jinxed them.
Denton showed up. He
Matejchuk
always
showed
shows
up.
but
Yeah.
So
They all showed up in Game 4, and we all had a Merry Christmas. But yeah, First time ever, 40 years.
Yeah, and as a lifelong fan, as a
Mhm.
Chiefs fan as well, I will say just that hometown tie to it, felt better than any Chiefs Super Bowl. I'll say that. Like, I'm a diehard Chiefs
Oh, I
fan,
believe it.
but it is
that
just
makes
a
sense.
completely different feeling to have your team, your hometown team that you've had season tickets for
Yeah.
15 years. My dad's had season tickets for 30 years. Just to like
Yep.
have that happen and then happen at home and me actually be able to be there because I went to a kids ball tournament. I was so nervous that it was going to go to 5 and I was going to miss that moment.
Mm-hmm.
To not have to miss it was just incredible. So
And I
really made the week.
I do have, so just a little note. Someone pointed this out to me. My hometown, Melfort Mustangs, just lost in the Centennial Cup final. I live in Moose Jaw, obviously, now. So we'll see what happens. They're still in it. And then the Panthers still in it as well. So if they end up all losing in the final, that's not a good omen. We'll see what happens.
No.
But
Well, it's great omen that you're not going to be with Bronell at Elkridge because that's
Yeah.
a bad omen if you're a loser.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, from a Melfort Mustangs perspective, if you were a season ticket holder too, SJ, sure, a little bit different, but just to
Mhm.
see your team that you've cheered for, that you have that hometown connection to, win something,
yeah.
it's just a completely different feeling than your professional sports team winning it.
yes.
Now, that's not to say that, a Stanley Cup for a Canadian team at this point would not be up there, because it probably would be. If you're a diehard Oilers fan or Leafs fan or Habs fan, like just to see that now, it's been 31 years since
Mhm.
Canadian teams won. A little bit different there because we're pushing 40-year territory with the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
So congrats to the Warriors, and hopefully we'll get that out soon
Yeah,
so that
it's
everyone can enjoy.
It's something that we're never going to forget in our lifetimes. We're,
Yeah.
I-
This was second dub final? Is that
second
right?
time there.
Yeah, we got
First
swept
win,
the first time.
Yeah.
Swept, yeah.
And
By
I had a
Gilbert Brule and the Vancouver Giants.
Well, I had a buddy coming down for game 3, and he was supposed to come for game 4, and he couldn't make it. So I had a ticket, right? So I was like, oh, who am I going to take to the game? I was like, oh, you know what? I better take my kid, right? Because
Yeah.
they're gonna remember that forever, right? If
Yeah.
I was a kid, you're gonna remember that win for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah. I would hope so.
I hope so, or else he's out of the will.
Yeah, well, for me, speaking of kids, so both my kids were there, but my son, who normally sits with his season tickets with Grandpa,
Yeah.
and they sit right down on the glass, loves it down there. I was amazed because our just like rule is he has to come up at 5 minutes, sit with me for the last 5 minutes so we can go home together. Well, he came up for the third period.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy the whole third period with him.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And then after we get to celebrate, so it was really cool. And
The whole rink
Yeah.
stayed to watch the whole celebration, right? Everybody was carrying the cup around, and
Yeah.
Matejchuk
Yeah.
yeah, so
got the MVP, and
yeah, very awesome. So that was the majority of my week. And as I mentioned, since I'll go into my week, I did have to go to Bismarck, North Dakota with Canoop. Different teams. Our kids are on different teams, but same tournament. Drove down there and luckily did not miss game 5.
how's the mileage on the way down? With the wind, or
So that's what I want to talk about is obviously it seems like U.S. storms are a little bit different. Seems like they get a little more crazy weather. Well, we're driving down there and there's some dark clouds, and it's like this highway's gonna bend a little bit to the east, and the storm's coming from the west, so it's like maybe we'll go around it. And it did look like we were gonna make it around it. We didn't. Like, I could not believe how hard it was raining on the highway. Like,
It
Yeah.
wasn't. We were hydroplaning. Like it was.
you just
wild.
kept going?
Luckily no hail. But the winds were crazy. The rain was insane. And then sure enough, we get to Bismarck for our first game, and it hasn't started raining there yet because it all seemed like it was north of there. While this tail end of this storm shows up, we drive 6 hours to get to our game. We get out of our vehicle. Like the second we walked out of our vehicle, it's like they announced there's a 30-minute delay on these games. It's like, oh shit, we drove down here for a 30-minute delay. Nope, it was about a 12-minute delay, and then they canceled the games for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah.
Drove all the way down there in a panic to get there on time, cancel all the games, and it's a 5-game minimum tournament. So we have to play 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Saturday rolls around 14, 15 degrees and 50K winds.
It was
It
gross.
was brutal. We're down there like, this is
Man.
what we drove down here for?
We were lucky enough to do 3 games the first day, and then only had to do 2 on
Yeah.
the Sunday.
But
So,
Sunday was arguably better weather, so
Yeah.
Then we drove home, and not too bad on the way home, but had to listen, which I'll get to, listen to the final round of PGA because I wasn't going to stream it in the States and worry about that bill after.
Oh, yeah.
So listen to it on SiriusXM. But other than that, that was my week. It was Warriors, day off, tournament. So you would think that I had a ton of drinks celebrating those Warrior victories, but none of my buddies that I like to hang out with, Bronell, and my other buddy that I have season ticket with, you guys didn't want to come out after the game, so I went to the
Well,
bar.
I wanted to, but I had to bring my kid home, and then
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, then you didn't come back out.
I had to work in the morning. And
So I partied with obviously other fans and stuff like that, but didn't really get too crazy. So I only had 18, and again, with
only.
only 8, well, I had
Yeah.
two Warrior games, including a WHL championship.
Yeah.
And a tournament in the States. But again, with the rain out, it kind of dampened a lot of parents' moods. And then the second day we played at 7:30. Like we had 7:30 a.m. game on Sunday. So no one's drinking on Saturday night because we have to wake up at 6 o'clock.
Was it
So-
cold down there at 7:30?
It was freezing.
It wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't
yeah.
warm. Oh,
Yeah.
not only that, my kid got sick overnight on Saturday. Was up till 2 a.m. He didn't even play that 7:30 game because him and my wife slept in because they were up all night. So I just went and coached a game that my kid wasn't even in the United States
Yay.
in 12
Yikes.
degree weather.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, so not great. So yeah, 18 drinks for me.
What's that on the year now?
I'm at 328.
Oh.
328.
Okay.
And I did have an algorithm. I don't know why I didn't write it down. I'm just going to quickly pop into social media here because I'm sure it'll still just be filled with it. Yeah. It's these damn construction fails are still on there.
Again,
Like
they just go away and come back.
I don't think they ever leave. I just
Oh.
don't want to say them on the
Oh,
pod
yeah,
every
yeah.
week. But
Hmm.
first thing, look at this guy's opening a side of a tanker, and it's just gonna be exploding on him. Yeah, look at
Oh, that's
just
sweet,
a bunch
though.
of shit coming out of the side of this truck. Lot of non Canadian stuff. Oh, there's another good one. Have you ever seen this Vitoli guy that he's like does deadlifts and he always walks up to weightlifters and tells them that they're lifting fake weights?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's in there all the time. Like
Yeah.
I've watched all of those at
Yeah.
least 10 times each. Because it doesn't make any sense how he's that small and can lift that much weight.
He just goes in there and lifts it with one hand after.
Yeah.
He's like,
He's like, hey
Yeah.
guys, why are you using fake weights? They're like, you think it's fake, bro? You lift it. And then he does like 4 reps. They're just like, what the hell? I love watching that guy. So he's in my algo. But yeah, that's my week.
all right, I'll go next.
No, I'll continue off a lot of the same stuff that Maddie did. So, like
Oh.
you said, we were down there as well. I had a little bit of an adventurous. They scored. Good for them.
Well, Canucks are
3-1.
try to come back.
What
eh?
if?
What if they
How much is
shoot
left?
more?
8
That
minutes.
would be something.
It's enough.
On the way down there, kind of cruising. We weren't behind.
Oh, great story.
Going a little bit fast because you're head coach.
Can I lead this?
Yeah, you're head coach. Yeah, go for it. Sure.
So I'm going to lead this because I knew exactly what happened to him.
It's
So we're driving through, I don't know, it was like the 3rd town in the United States. It's called Kenmare. And so anyway, we're driving through it, and we're looking, and we see all these kids playing because it's obviously Friday, so they're in school. We're looking at it. I'm looking over. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's a cool school. And then you're almost on the outskirts of town, so you just speed up. You're on the outskirts of town. So I speed up, and then as I'm doing that, I have great vision. I can see a car, over there. I'm like, that's a cop. And so I look down, and again, luckily I had set my speedometer to miles on the digital one. So I look down, I'm going 55 and a 45. I'm like, oh, I better tone it down because then it goes up to 60 as the speed limit. So I'm like, oh, 55 and 45, that's probably a ticket. So I pump it back down, and then Aaron's like, wow, you got lucky there. I'm like, yep, I did. Cue Canoop story.
So we go. So we're driving through. We're, I don't know, an hour or so behind them because we didn't play until after. Kind of going through. May have looked down at my phone briefly as we're rolling through this town. I notice, again, like Maddie B had said, we're on the outskirts of town, so I start speeding up. Not really paying attention to what's going on around me. I do see the 45 sign, but I'm like, oh, fuck, that's weird. Like, we are literally on the outskirts of town. So I speed up to 65. It's actually 67, technically.
Yep.
I see the cop there. I'm like, oh, fuck. Keep going. We kind of come up over a hill. I kind of look back and don't see him move. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm all right. A minute later, he just comes barreling down the highway. So I was like, oh, fuck. Hopefully he's going after someone else. So I kind of slow down, not a ton, and see that he's still behind me. So I end up pulling over, and he comes, knocks on the window. License and registration. So I forget my wallet because I have my phone. So I just tap all the time. So I'm never worried about my wallet.
I never have my
and
wallet
I have
either.
my passport.
have it
so I'm like,
always.
yeah, fuck, it's fine. So he starts giving me shit. He's like, like North Dakota state law says you have to have your license on you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, well, actually, I have a picture. He's like, well, I'm not taking your phone to my car. It's like, oh, I'm not asking you to. I'm just like, I'll show it. So he ends up pulling his phone out, takes a picture of my license. And my wife got a new vehicle like 2 weeks ago. So she's rifling through all these papers trying to find the registration, can't find it. I was like, oh, fuck. So she's trying to log into SGI. It's not working for whatever reason. She's not the most technical or tech-savvy
I would have
person
never
in the
even
world.
thought to go on an SGI app.
Couldn't get it to work. So he's like, okay, you were driving 67 and a 45, weren't you? I was like, I don't know. I was like, we were coming up on the outskirts of town. I just started to speed up. Truthfully, I just kind of didn't really see the sign. He's like, all right, whatever. So he goes back to his vehicle. Meanwhile, a minute later, my wife finds the registration. So I'm like hanging out the window trying to like wave this piece of paper in the air. It's like, hey, here we go. Yeah. No, doesn't care. Does not give a shit.
Well, no.
5 minutes later, comes back, hands me 3 tickets.
Oh, man.
He's like, I could have gave you another one for not having your license, but just make sure you have it next time you're coming here. So first ticket. So we're trying to find these things. I said, okay, Kirsten. Oh,
We had a good chance there.
Your head coach, Daryl, ended up talking. We were talked last week, and he said, yeah, last time he was down in the States, he got this ticket. It was like $25 for driving 10 miles an hour over. So I was like, well, okay, I was 22. It's probably going to be a little bit more than that. First ticket she sees, $150. I was like, that's a little steeper than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten is like, oh, no, that's for not having your registration. I was like, oh, fuck. So she keeps rifling through $31 for going 22 miles an hour over the speed limit.
That's insane.
Yes.
I mean, it's 50 Canadian, but
That's right.
yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Because
Um,
the funny thing is, he posted in our group chat. He's just like, "How much do you think a ticket is for going 67 and 45?" I said $80. I knew they were cheap. I didn't think they were that cheap. But then my next message was, "That cop at Kenmare got you, didn't he?" He's like, "Yep, that exact one." I knew
so
it.
the most messed up thing is he come back and I tried to give him obviously the registration. He's like, oh no, you can just show them and then they'll just rip up those tickets. I was like, okay. So I'm hoping this week that they don't tell me, because I'm kind of assuming that they're going to say that I have to come back there to show them that stuff. I don't think
Because
they're
it was the
gonna take-
weekend, you couldn't
yeah,
actually
we couldn't
do it.
actually
right?
do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens this week. So stay tuned to that, I guess.
But that's the weird thing, is how did they know that you had your because the ticket should be failure to produce it.
Correct.
Obviously you have it.
Yes.
You just didn't produce it. So
Yeah.
if you go back to them and say, "Here's my registration," they're like, "Well, you didn't have it with you when you were there."
Yeah. And that's what he
There's-
said. He's like, yeah,
I
they'll
don't
just
get that.
rip it up. I don't know. And like he couldn't go in some database and say, oh yeah, well, this vehicle is registered, because one of the other ticket was $30, and I think that's what that one ended up being. It's like you can't tell from some. I don't know.
trip,
Whatever. So the only other thing we really did this
That's tough.
week, Finley, my youngest, started tennis lessons this week. So today,
That's interesting.
I really wish that I would have been able to do that when I was younger. Tennis is just a lot of fun. So
I think tennis would be a good
That's-
sport to learn.
That's
young.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone that young learning it before.
He does seem like a tennis guy too.
He
if that
loves
makes any sense.
everything.
Just
Loves
run
everything.
around and
Yes.
swat things.
Yeah.
That's his jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves it. So 9 drinks this week, 347 on the year.
Okay. I'm going to keep it really short because we should probably get talking about the tournament.
Yeah, we're at normal pace, 20 minutes.
So yeah, didn't have much else going on. Did play golf this morning with Canoop. It was freezing cold.
I
It wasn't that bad.
did get extended the invite, and
It
took
actually-
me about 1 second.
it
to look
actually
at the
wasn't that
forecast.
bad.
First couple holes were chilly, but
Yeah.
after that it was okay.
I mean, I had a shirt, a hoodie, and that new player kind of sweater thing on.
Yep.
And it was pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it's my fingers would have got so cold they would have never warmed up.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
But luckily, Elkridge looks like it's 20 degrees now, which is
Yeah.
nice
That'll be big.
because that's a problem.
Yeah. And usually the wind's not too bad up
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
You said
Might-
you're going to shoot 87.
Might
shot
have
75.
figured out some stuff with the driver today.
I think we did.
I think we did, yeah.
Was he or was he
It
not part of
started
the process?
It started on number 3. We figured you out.
3, I didn't hit a bad shot, but yeah, I kind of got into my head that the way I'm taking it back.
How
The face is
plus or
open.
minus 1.5 rounds till it goes back to normal.
No, I gotta keep
You
doing
think
it.
you got it?
I gotta
You
keep
think
doing
you
the way
got
I'm
it,
doing it
though?
right now. Yeah.
You got it?
Well, there'll be some falters. Oh boy, 3-2 with 4 minutes left.
Oh boy. Maybe we shouldn't have done this during the third period when it was 3-0.
Yeah,
Anyway, we
this
might be
is-
slightly occupied. We might have to pause it right after weeks and then just hop back on. Actually, I think that's what we're going to do. So you finish your week, and then it's going to sound like we stopped this pod prior to getting into X. That's because it's exactly what we did.
Yeah. But yeah, I managed to play okay. Chipped in for eagle on 9, so that was all right.
That's nice.
That's a helper.
That helps the score.
Helper, yeah.
Anything
That's
else?
it.
Well, match this morning? Square? Ends all square?
Yeah, my partner didn't help me much, but
No, he did not.
he did birdie 17. Kids baseball is constant, and I wish Harv was here for this. This is
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yep.
We're into May, and fellas, I did it. Under nine drinks this week. 8 drinks this week.
That'll be your low
That's,
total for
maybe
the,
that's
for
why
the
you
year.
didn't come out
Yeah.
after the Warriors won. You wanted to be sub 9.
I only had 1 drink that night.
I only had 3 at the Warriors.
Two. I had 1. I actually did have a beer when I got home.
So I've said this, I think, on the show before. I find that getting super wasted at those events ruins the event after it happens.
Oh yeah.
Like when
You're
you
right.
can't remember the goals.
Oh
And you
yeah.
have
You
to
can't
watch
You
'em?
can't get that drunk.
Well, even if you just got like even the remote like a just past a buzz stage, sometimes you can be a little foggy on what
Oh,
happened.
for sure. Yeah.
So it's like you got to be almost sober and
Like
just
Game 7 in
enjoy it.
Saskatoon.
Yeah, like that's why I drove.
Yeah.
I had to remember every single minute of it.
Yep.
So
For sure. So that's 305 on the year in 140. So.
all right. Well, that wraps up weeks, and we'll be back. What'll sound like 1 second from now, but it's real time going to be. If this game goes to overtime, it might be an hour from now, or at intermission.
No.
But let's talk about X. All right, we're back, and the Oilers are victorious. It was a frantic 4 minutes. All right, let's talk about Xander Schauffele breaking through at the PGA Championship, finally getting through and winning that major.
It's about time. He's been playing such good
I mean,
golf
he has
for the
been
last
playing unbelievable
2
golf,
years.
yeah.
He just hasn't been able to close one out, and
He's arguably.
said, it's
he
about time.
probably is the second best player in the world right now. I would say
I would
pretty
say
close.
Rory's up.
I would say
don't know.
that
It's close, but
the best player to never win a major was accurate prior to this week. Like current
best
player.
current player to
Yes.
never win. Yeah.
So it's nice to
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
happen. Like he has had some success, obviously Olympic gold, whatever weight you put into that, and winning on tour. But it was just, I think the final round had everything you wanted from a major championship final round. Like, sure, take the scores completely out of it. You had 3 guys that were in the race the whole way. Looked like it could be a playoff. I always kind of lean towards when those guys that are in it are like 2 groups ahead, because then it gives you like couple holes of, is he going to do it? Is it like, there's a par 5 coming. So it's
Yeah.
like Bryson's in, but Xander still has 2 holes. So it's like, yeah, sure, he might birdie 18, but what's he going to do on 17?
Yeah.
So it gives you a little bit more wiggle room and build up to that final hole, I think.
It had a weird feel to it. It almost felt like a Bryson Hovland match play event.
Yes.
But then it was Xander was still waiting.
Yeah, 2 holes behind.
And he was one ahead the whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to give him some credit. He went through those swing changes. He changed his swing.
Yeah. I think
Recently.
yeah,
And he didn't really skip a beat.
yeah, I would like to. I obviously I would never do this on normally, like watch a replay, but listening to it on SiriusXM was an entirely different experience.
Yes.
Because you have to visualize exactly what's happening. They're
Yeah,
pretty
it's tough.
they're pretty good at what they're saying. I mean, you do get a little annoyed because they're only following 2 or 3 groups. It's the same guys talking about essentially the same thing over and over again. But you're just trying to visualize what's actually happening. So now I'd love to go back and watch it to see if what I thought was happening was what was actually happening. But just a different type of experience for a major championship for me. But just the way that the ebbs and flows, they don't ruin it, obviously, on radio like they do sometimes on TV. Like, if they're cutting to a guy, he's doing something good,
that's right.
usually.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, they're only following the guys that are in it.
Yeah.
So you get to live through every single one of those final 3-4 guys' shots. But yeah, and seeing that winning putt on TV afterwards or on Twitter afterwards was nothing like the experience of the radio. Like, it sounded like it just went in.
Oh.
But then you watch the highlight, it went that was almost a power lip out.
I got to the border right when he was stepping on the 18th tee. So I was able to turn video on. Yeah. So it worked out fantastic. I want to go back to one thing you had said. So swing changes. I think I remember reading it was like 6 mile an hour ball speed he's gained since doing that little bit of swing changes. So he hits the ball so far for such a slight guy that is not huge. He's like him and Rory, right?
Yeah.
They're mid to high 180s ball speed. Like, they move that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even just on 18, like, they're
It's
talking about
crazy
guys
how
who can't
small
reach
those
that bunker.
how small those guys are, and they're just killing it. Spieth was 3rd in driving distance this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when they said that he was in the bunker on 18 on the radio, it's just like, what? How did he reach that bunker?
He wasn't in it. He's just
almost there. But just hitting it that far for some of these guys. I do have this stat here, which I was going to talk about later when we get to Lowry, but 4 of the 5 62s in major championship history are in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
So from a scoring perspective and talking about ball rollbacks and stuff like that, well, these guys are getting so good and so long that, they're breaking all these major championship scoring records because they got to do something.
Yeah.
So,
and they absolutely killed this course this weekend, and
assaulted it.
There was a lot of hate for this place online, which I don't know. I really enjoyed
record low
watching.
score in a major, but
I think
and record low for the week.
Oh,
like scores combined
by a mile.
All players?
I got it right here.
Yeah, that 214. Yeah.
Minus 214.
Yeah.
And the next best PGA Championship was the 95 at Riviera.
Yeah.
Plus 40.
Yeah.
And
it's 250 shots.
It's unfortunate that they got all that rain because it probably could have gotten fairly dicey over the last week.
It had to firm up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just unfortunate the last 2 times that they've held something here, it's been fairly wet.
Yeah. And I think, too, that as much hate as it's getting online, it's an unbelievable golf course.
Oh.
Like, it is so fun to watch.
That's that hole 7 with the par 5 with the 2 different landing areas and the fun second shot, and then 13, obviously, that hole drew a lot of attention this week with guys going for it. Only 2 guys, I think, went for it. Toasty got on.
Yeah.
And then,
I didn't know someone else did.
Spieth went for it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Didn't
hit
it in the water, obviously.
That makes sense.
And then 235-yard par 3 on the back.
Was cool,
and then 18's a really cool hole,
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Kind of looks like a little bit of a dink hanging down.
Yeah.
And they show the show the overhead.
Yeah.
Just a body and just needed that water features the balls.
Yeah.
Just hanging on.
Well, just even
for some anyway. We all can't be so lucky to have their dink hanging over their balls.
For Xander to only
but
make
still.
2 bogeys all week and 1 double on a course that's playing 7,600 and some yards,
Yep.
and wet and long, right?
He drove the ball so well all week, and
his
he hit
short game-
60 of 72 greens in regulation.
And then when he missed, his short game was dialed.
Yeah. He only missed 12
a lot of
times, so
putts and
His leg
yeah.
putting was very good.
Very
too.
good, yeah.
That putter, that Toulon putter, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, so can't say enough good things about him. I know if Harv was here, he'd make some sort of Stefan comment, which Stefan obviously came out and
He wasn't
you know,
there.
he wasn't there
No.
because we're wondering where he is in the whole celebration, all these things. But I mean, obviously he's excited that his baby boy's finally done it, and now he can reap the benefits of all the different advertising that might come from it, being
Yeah.
a major champion now. But yeah, just overall great finish. I mean,
He didn't really selly too hard at the end, but
No,
doesn't
I was
seem like that
surprised.
type of
he
guy.
was pretty stoic. He just
he was
he's a
surprised
pretty
that
on-course stoic guy. But
Yeah.
afterwards, like the cigar smoking at the Ryder Cup,
Yeah.
and you see the videos that come out now of him and his caddy Austin Kaiser drinking out of the cup and all this stuff. Like I think he would be a fun guy off the course. That he
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily get that same type of
he said that he
feel.
was surprised that he got emotional, and it's like, well, really?
yeah.
I think we would think most guys would get emotional after their first major.
Yeah, he's always tied to Cantlay, him and Cantlay being buddies. I don't think Cantlay's that type of guy off the course, which kind of puts him way over in that unlikable
Yep.
Yeah.
some sort, that kind of spot.
I didn't
but
see too many guys after. I saw JT give him a nice little hug and congratulations after. But
saw Lowry, DeChambeau. That was all I remember.
Yeah, so
yeah,
good for him. I think we can kind of move into Bryson and the week that he had now. As we go down and kind of talk about pick out some of the guys we want to talk about. I think Bryson's like that stat that came out of 88.2% scrambling. I know, Bruno, you thought that was...
I just thought he was
Incredible.
destined to win. He had that break on 16, hits the tree, bounces out, hits his 8-iron to 2 feet.
Yeah.
I thought, this guy's got this, and this is his now,
Yeah.
right?
I think
20 under, he played well enough to win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just
I
one guy
agree.
beat him.
And I do think that of all the live guys and people that left, he took probably the least amount of heat for it. He's managed to keep that likability factor, and it's really proven so now after the fact of, that video that came out of him throwing that ball to the kid and the guy steals it and he yells at the guy, no, that's for the kid. Like that blows up. He's just a likable guy. He hasn't really...
He's likable in some ways, but he's also very, very unlikable.
Yes,
on
I
the
would
golf
agree with
course.
He's got some quirks, and
Yeah.
everybody does.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
say one of the
not
unlikable
everybody.
things he did was come out with that comment that said he had his B game this week.
Yeah.
Like when you say that, that's
He said he had his
pretty-
B game, but then he went on to say that his putter was A+, his wedges were A+, and his short game was A+. So how does that equate? Just because your driver
just
was
driver?
a B?
Yeah.
Does that means your whole game was a B?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Maybe.
you
But that
tied
is-
a record for lowest score in a major championship.
with his B game, and I mean,
Yeah.
I guess the argument could be that driving is his strongest suit. So if that's not on, then yeah. Maybe sure you could say that. But if you had your A game driving and A+ on all those other things, then you should have won by 10 strokes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's
If you're
kinda
gonna
what
say
he's
you have
saying,
an
right?
A, if you're playing your A game, you're gonna win.
But this
Most
is
of
coming
the
from the
time.
guy that says Augusta's a par 67. So it's like
Yeah,
he's
that's the thing,
going to say dumb stuff.
he does those things,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, this guy's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
On
But
the
also-
course.
but
But
yeah.
then off the course, he says some great things.
And he's
I
been
don't
doing
know.
so much good social media stuff, like all this YouTube stuff he's doing. Like we've talked about that. I think that's why he's still got that likability factor. He does all this stuff off the
I
course.
saw a tweet saying that he's the guy that the PGA Tour misses the most, probably. That's gone to live. I
Yeah.
think they might be missing him more than John Rahm right now.
I think so.
Right now?
Especially with the way John Rahm was making the news. I got a couple of points of him. Are you good with Bryson now?
Wow,
Let's talk
we
about Rahm a
probably
little
should.
bit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Let's just go right into we're a little more fluid with my script as compared to Harv's.
Yeah.
So let's just move directly into Rahm.
I mean,
We're talking about likability and missing
he didn't
one
do
guy over the
anything
other.
this week, so
The fact that some of the comments he made early on about He's still a PGA Tour member. He still wants to see them do well because he wants to come back eventually. He knows it'll happen. And then Oberholzer going on Golf Channel say he wants to reach through and wring his neck. Like, I agree with that comment.
With
like the fact that you
Roms?
take with Oberholzer.
But why? He is still a member. So
Yeah,
what's
but
the
just
deal?
the way that he's like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong here. I took $450 million, went completely back on my word, and
Yeah, but
now it's okay because I'll eventually come. I want to see the people.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be partners. So what the hell's the difference?
Just the way he's going about it, and then the temper tantrums were back. That club throw,
yeah.
like that is an all-time club throw. Just having a hissy fit like we used to when he was on the PGA Tour. We loved it. So
Yeah.
it's
I'm
just
telling you, man, they're missing Bryson way more than him.
yeah. I think I'd agree with you a little bit. They don't miss him from
Brooks.
Because
the way he's playing right now, though.
Brooks, yeah. I mean, Brooks was never really on the tour in non-majors anyways.
yeah,
he's a
just-
major
yeah,
guy.
that's fair.
Doesn't matter what tour Brooks is on. He shows up for the majors.
Yeah, I had a parent over the weekend because obviously with the rain delay, we watched Friday in one of our rooms. We were just talking about that and how they're like, oh, yeah, Brooks is up there again. I'm like, yeah, this guy literally only cares about majors. If he was – live is perfect for Brooks. We talked about that many times. He doesn't care. Why not play 54 instead of 72? Because all he cares about are majors. And if he can play in the majors, he's got it the best possible way. But he isn't out there like Rom saying, oh, yeah, I can't wait. I still want to be a part of the PGA Tour. Like, just majors. Give me majors.
Yeah.
Bryson's doing his thing. That's why he's likable because he's got his YouTube stuff. And
Yeah.
they're just going about it different ways.
And speaking of the live, I mean, we gotta give props to Xander. He won an actual golf tournament because Taylor Gooch was in the field. There's no asterisks. He doesn't have to think about that or
Good for Taylor to finish T60 and make the cut, though.
Yeah,
Just to prove that he can make the cut in a major
he got the
championship.
invite. I mean, the live guys didn't do very good this week, other than Bryson. But
Yeah, overall great drama. I mean, good time to talk about Hovland and
speaking of
switching coaches.
swing changes. Well, I mean, he didn't really switch his swing. He just
switched
changed
coaches.
his coach for some reason, even though he's playing well.
Yeah, dog shit. Goes back to that coach. Immediate dividends.
Solo 3
And that
I think he's been with him for a couple
and
weeks.
could have
but-
won.
Yeah. And then he had come out this week and said, yeah, I wasn't even going to play this week. And then decided, okay, sure.
Like he had
Well, it's
legit.
funny because
It's messed up.
Sobel digs in on that comment in the interview. He's like, "Wait, I never heard you this. You were actually gonna. I shouldn't have said that. Well,
He
he shouldn't have
wasn't
said
gonna
it because
play.
he like made. I think he made it up.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
legit birdie chances on 16, 17, and 18. Like he had good looks.
So
Yeah.
listening to the radio,
He just needs to
every
make two of
every
those.
time they made calls,
Or
it was
one of
like Hovland hits it to just outside 10 feet. Bryson hits it to just outside 10 feet. Xander. Like listening to it on the radio, that back nine, it just sounded like they went at every single flag.
Yeah, they went at every flag, and Morikawa just could not putt
No.
at all.
No.
Like that's the radio. The
They-
radio was those three guys just throwing absolute
He
darts
made
on
30
every hole.
feet of putts
Yeah.
on Sunday.
They kept saying
Total.
he needs to try something new
Yeah,
this round, on this hole, on this putt. He
And
just
it-
needs to see something going.
yeah, and this will always be a Morikawa thing. If he
Yeah.
can putt, he's unreal. If he can't putt, he's not. He's up there, but he's not gonna win if he can't putt. And Butchie agrees.
I love.
That was probably the biggest win for the week. Is him not winning for me.
Hovland.
Morikawa.
No, Morikawa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why do you dislike him so much?
Just I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hurt us on in our golf pool, but yeah, I mean he's up there.
He's
it was
like
a
Bryson for
it
me,
was
I
a
guess.
absolute slamming leaderboard, like just the
Mhm.
best.
I love a par 5 finishing hole.
Oh, it's the best.
Like
You have to have them. Just the chance
Because
of eagle being out there.
the chance of eagle.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it makes guys go for it. It makes you like hidden in that. The final round is guys trying to make the cut, like
Yeah.
to make eagle to make the cut. Like it just changes everything. Obviously, it's split tees, but it just changes the entire dynamic of every.
It's a
round.
bit better if the second shot is a little bit riskier because there wasn't really much protecting the green
Yeah.
No.
on this course. But
Just
if you got some water around the green on a second shot on a par 5 finisher, that's ideal.
I do
Because
think
if you bring bogey into play too,
Yeah.
right?
if there was one knock on Augusta, it would be that it very rarely seems like 18s dramatic from a make birdie perspective.
Well, not in the last 5-10 years, it hasn't been. But it had been before. I mean, we had O'Meara make that putt. Phil.
Yeah.
We've had some
finishes, but it's not. It just doesn't have the same kick as a par
what's
5.
his name? That Schwartzel.
Yeah.
When he went on that run.
But just, you know what I mean? Like the fact that there's eagle out there for that 2 shots. Yeah. But also I guess the counter argument to that would be exactly this. If you're in a tie and it's a par 5, the guy's going up around the green, up and down, easy birdie to win.
Was it easy though?
No, but I'm just, you know what I mean though? By having that is if you're in the clubhouse tied with the leader and he's got a par 5, it kind of maybe takes a little drama away from it.
And I think that added to the pressure for Xander on this one because on 10, he ended up making bogey, right?
Yes.
That par 5 to start the back 9 ends up making bogey. And then you're standing on the 18th tee. You're like, what the fuck did I just? How did I not birdie that one?
We shouldn't even be worried about this.
We shouldn't even be worried about this. Now I got to go birdie this one. So
okay. Next, we got to talk about before we go fully down the leaderboard. We got to talk about Scotty.
I can't believe it. The fact that Xander bogeyed 10 and then immediately birdied 11 and 12. Huge, that was the turning point of the tournament. But
let's talk.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet.
Well, we had to talk about the winners before we talk about all the fine details.
You still finished T8. For fuck's sakes.
Like, waking up to that is, I don't even know. We're just fans, right? Sure, we have podcasts and stuff like that. We follow all of these little details, but to be in golf media and wake up to that and just be like, we have to cover Scotty Schauffele getting arrested this morning? Yeah. What the hell's going on?
Well, I woke up to go to a meeting at 7, and I saw this blurry video from, what's-his-face, from the NFL Network. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it didn't look like him. It was obviously dark. Then you start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you're like, oh, my God, this is real?
Yeah, it seems
like,
fake.
What?
When you posted in the group, I was like, is this... Like, are you trying to be just a shit? Are you just trolling?
Yeah, it's like, who made this up? This is so far-fetched that it has to be true because it sounds so made up.
That guy has a beard? That's Scotty Schauffele and he's tall?
Yeah.
No.
Like, if it was Taylor Gooch, obviously this would be very believable, right?
When it first came out, like, it's Scotty Schauffele, this has to be a misunderstanding. And I mean, it kind of seems like it was a bit of one.
It was, 100%.
Like,
they came out today and said they're not dropping the charges.
Thought they were. Thought they said they were.
I mean, it does make sense. He did, whether he was instructed to go around or not, whoever was there didn't know that.
On his car.
And he broke the law.
Yeah.
Maybe like all the other guys broke the law that were told to do that. He's just the one that got caught.
The worst part of it all, obviously, is that volunteer had passed away, causing this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole attention gets put on Scheffler getting arrested because he's the #1 player in the world. And not the guy that passed away. Like it.
Yes.
It was just kind of a weird situation.
It was so weird,
like,
well, and then
I mean, Scotty handled it extremely well in his presser. Like, immediately brought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he immediately posted as soon as he got his phone back from getting discharged. He immediately posted to Instagram.
He said he was stretching in jail. He was warming up in jail.
Yeah.
And he's lucky that the tee times got pushed back.
Yeah. Because that would have been crazy if there wasn't the weather delay and he actually misses his tee time because he's in the clink. Like, that would be that'd be hilarious. The #1 player in the world misses his tee time. He's out of the tournament because he went to jail.
And then he shot 66 that day. Went to bed probably thinking, like, what the hell just happened today? Woke up, I don't have Ted Scott today. I might as well just shoot 73. Broke his streak. Lost Ted Scott and broke his streak of under par rounds, which was like 40-something in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Answer is 41.
Yeah.
41 rounds in a row under par. Finally breaks it. And I love one of the best follows on Twitter is @JCuda. And he posted just a Scotty Scheffler second rounds in majors. And then the second column is, did he go to jail? And there are a bunch of no's. And then right at the top is yes. And it's his best second round in a major ever.
67. 66. Yeah.
5 under. So he has one other 5 under. So it's T1. But all the other ones where he didn't go to jail were worse. So, and then now he gets, and then just endless memes. Like Twitter was on fire that morning.
That's what Twitter's for, or X is for. That's the exact situation that it's been made for.
There were
Yeah.
shirts with his mugshot on it that morning.
That morning.
I don't know how
How'd
they
they
got
print those
I
off
don't
quick?
know. It's a great question.
They probably have a company, or a buddy's got a company. Hey, throw this on a shirt for me.
I guess.
Just take it. Well, in the States, they got access to all that stuff. You just walk into
What's he-
Staples and throw it on a white shirt.
How many is he winning by this week if that incident never happens? 4, 5? He's probably getting a 25 under.
He might.
I think
Might.
it,
With how soft it was?
well, I do
and
think
how-
that the round that it happened in is more like adrenaline and stuff like that. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell happened? And then the next day where you go to sleep and like, what the hell happened today?
Yeah.
That's what caused.
And lost his caddy, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
think that's just.
Yeah.
Everything kind of culminates and you have that adrenaline dump of what the hell happened. And then it's just like, fuck. Or he's also thinking, I can't win this.
Yeah.
Maybe I
mean-
shouldn't. Maybe I'll just take a step back.
He
and I'll
was
finish
several
T8.
shots back after the first round with Xander shooting 62, but
It's happened before.
Overall hilarious. Just some other quick hitters on the PGA Championship here. Adam Scott, 91 in a row made cuts, dating all the way back to the 2001 U.S. Open.
not made cuts.
Or
Just majors played in.
majors played in.
Majors played in, yeah.
Yeah. Since the 2001 U.S. Open.
It's impressive.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
It is.
Sorry.
That's why he's
It's a
up on the
long time.
wall right here.
Yeah, right behind Coop. Speaking of the disaster that Scotty got arrested for, Will Z came out and said that he had to walk 2 miles just to get onto the property, and he told his parents not even to come,
Yeah.
just because it's such a zoo to
It was a
get
shit
there,
show,
and
yeah.
it's just chaos. Don't even bother.
He said that there were other players in the locker room that morning that were ready to boycott the championship and didn't end up doing it. But
Yeah.
for logistics and obviously because of the death of that volunteer, and
Yeah,
they didn't
that's
end up doing
Lots
it.
of other crazy stuff. Obviously, I mentioned before 4 of 5 62s. Well, one of those was Shane Lowry, who had a 10-footer on 18 for 61.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just missed. So pretty wild to see those types of
It was an
scores. And he was on a heater, like
that back
absolute
nine.
heater. Yeah.
He made so many 35-foot putts. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I think he made 180-ish feet for the day. So
Okay.
impressive stuff
Yeah.
from him.
And then I don't know if you guys want to talk about anyone else, but I do want to talk quickly about John Daly, obviously withdrew, but just find it still hilarious that he can ride a cart, but his clubs can't. His caddy's still got to walk with his clubs while he just drives up to his ball and waits for his caddy. I didn't even notice
that's
if
the weirdest rule. It makes no sense.
Yeah, because rangefinders were allowed this week.
Yep.
So I would have just give John the rangefinder, drive up, shoot his number, and just wait for his clubs to arrive so
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
just hit
give me
it.
this
Yeah.
one.
I wanted to know if he can keep his SIGs in his cart or not, or if if the caddy's got to
Yeah.
carry those too.
Yeah. Well, and can he just put his Diet Cokes, like a case of Diet Cokes in the cart?
Just in
just
the back rack,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the back rack. And just,
Cooler.
yeah. It's got a cooler on the passenger seat.
So one more thing with the PGA Championship rules. So like you had said, you can use rangefinders this week. So on the radio, they kept talking about the one ball rule was not in play this week. So you don't have to use the same model of ball throughout your entire round.
Yeah.
So if you
Right.
want to go to a short, like you have a short par 3 and you want a bunch of spin, you could change your ball on the tee and use it for that hole. You have a long par 5 next, you could go to something that's a little bit harder. I thought that was very neat because
Yeah,
I
very
did not
neat,
know
yeah.
that was a thing on tour. I thought it was one ball was always in effect.
I
But
do that. I switch balls on the same hole a lot.
yeah.
I rip
They-
rip
so the-
Warbird off the tee
so
and then
yeah. I don't know if the
let's get that guy out of there.
no
I'm not
comment.
putting that thing.
No comment from me because I do have a ball that I putt more often than not. I just got it in the cup holder and I'm just like, yeah, that's my putting ball. It's
Yeah.
the clean one. It's the one that doesn't have a bunch of tree marks
That's
on
right.
it.
Yeah.
But on the radio, I don't know if they mentioned it on the broadcast or not, but Xander actually had a ball that had some damage to it that he was able to switch out before putting on that one hole. I don't know if that was on the broadcast, but I found that interesting.
No, I didn't see that.
Because they said it on the radio that they're like, yeah, this ball is damaged. Maybe he'll get to swap it out before he putts. And sure enough, they said he did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you guys don't want to talk about anyone else on the leaderboard, that's it for PGA.
I want to
Oh,
go
no,
back. I want to
we-
go back
we
to the
haven't
course
touched it.
for a sec.
We haven't touched on Rory yet.
Oh,
Oh.
no, I have that first thing in news is that he got divorced.
Oh, no.
Okay.
About his golf week.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just his 71 on Tuesday, or sorry, on the second day, day 2. kind of derailed him a little bit. But look, like coming into the week, he was, what was he, 6-1?
Well, last
8-1?
year's the title of pod last week, sorry, not last year, was Rory's Peakin.
Yeah.
He's won here before. He's playing his best golf ever. He was in it on Thursday. Poor second round, but then still moves all the way up. I think would he end up finish 12th? So,
Yes. So not bad, but
like
Not good enough.
no, for him, it's definitely not good enough. Not when the number one player in the world just above him had the week that he had and still ended up beating
Max
him.
Holma's comments, tweet about that was pretty funny. Well, I lost to a guy that was
Went to
literally
jail,
in
yeah.
jail on Friday.
yeah, and then Mark Hubbard's tweet about because Scotty got booked and it said whatever 6'3", 170, and he's like, if Scheffler's 170, I'm fucking fat.
Oh yeah,
that was good.
Yeah.
So
So you just had a great week, Cave. Xander first, Bryson second, Rory not in
divorced.
contention, divorced.
So all this stuff coming out now, we'll just talk about Rory instead of the news right now about getting divorced. That's like probably the excuse he had, right? It's he's peaking, which is crazy to think about that last week he won the tournament and then files divorce papers the next day. Like he knew he was filing those, still won the tournament, files for divorce the next day, and then goes and plays the PGA
Like,
Championship.
what's more distracting, getting divorced or getting
Going
arrested?
to jail. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the
It has
answer
to
is
be
similar.
The
It
It has
answer's
to be arrested.
divorce.
Has to be.
The answer's
arrested.
divorce.
No, he's known that this was gonna happen for a long time. It's not like
I mean, some would
He just
say that
woke
you're
up that
already in
morning.
jail.
there you go.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I guess because he did already know, it wasn't a distraction yet, though.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
once he files, then it becomes a distraction.
I guess. Yeah.
It's the distraction of it.
So did you guys read the
The
conspiracy?
Balionis
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I know, I think
Balionis
it's
also got
ridiculous.
divorced.
That's
Yes.
stupid.
Follows around the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
think
went
it's
back and looked at
ridiculous.
all the interviews between the two to see if there's
She's
a little
not his.
chemistry
She's
there.
not his type.
You never know.
I hope not.
There was also plenty of backing to when Rory broke off his engagement with Caroline Wozniacki, the tennis player, and how he went on a crazy run after that happened.
Mhm.
So maybe the run's coming.
He's gonna win the Open.
Could be.
That would be fun.
Could be.
That would be
so.
really
But he's
cool.
also got Poppy, his daughter, in there, so that changes things a little bit compared to his last time when he broke up. So
I wanted to go back to the course for just a little bit. I love this course. It's probably not great for a major championship setup, but why can't they incorporate courses like this into their regular schedule more? Why are those regular events tied down to one course? Why do you got to go play TPC Craig Ranch every year? Why
I
can't
think
they
it's
have a 2
money.
or 3 course rotation for all these tournaments and just to include more of these?
I
Good
certainly
golf
agree with you.
courses.
The answer's
Why
money.
can't Valhalla be showcased more than once every 15 years at a major?
I think there's multiple answers. I think what he said
Money is
100%
obviously
one.
right, but
Yeah.
And then the other one being that the members probably don't want it,
yeah.
right? Because the amount of disruption that it's caused on their course, like they always haven't been able to play it for a couple weeks, and then God knows whatever else, right? Like it's
Like there's
It's
some
a lot.
top courses in the States that just don't get shown off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's it. Like, if you were a member at that course, sure, you want people to see your course, but at the same time, you get to see your course. Like,
Yeah.
you know it's good. You want to play it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just it. Like, you
Yeah.
have to pass.
It's not
it
like they need
past.
they don't need the advertising
No.
or anything like that. But
I love that idea though.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 course rota for each tournament.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I agree.
Because there are a lot of duds out there.
there's lots of duds.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Right.
Yeah.
What, you guys got anything else you want to talk about in there?
Well, we got Canadians, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you got Ace's birthday shots.
I got Ace's birthdays, yeah.
Okay. Canadians a little bit of a tougher week. I mean, Connors did end up with T26, so not too bad. Svensson T43, Hadwin T60. He was kind of in it, and then I don't know what happened, but
yeah, he was.
Pendrith, Taylor, and Hughes all missed the cuts, so
Right.
a little bit of a forgettable week.
Aces, I only found one in Pod Topics. It was Soderberg's. It was the first ace at Valhalla since 1996. So he had an ace. And then birthdays, KJ Choi was 54. And friend of the pod, Roger Sloan's birthday this week.
Happy
Nice.
birthday,
I
Raj.
think he's born in 87, so that put him at 37.
Really? He's that old, eh?
I think so.
I think he was traveling. this week. He was somewhere hot.
Yeah,
I
he
saw a
was.
story.
Yeah,
Was he in
was,
the Colonial field?
I don't know. I
Did
haven't
you do
looked yet.
Canadians yet?
I haven't looked yet.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get to. Do you guys got shots of the week?
I mean, that one's super easy for me. It's that putt on 18 for Xander.
That's it? The
Yeah.
putt?
Yes.
The
that's
approach
it.
shot was better because everybody was leaving that chip really short all day. And he got it back there to 5 feet. It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
thought.
The times that he struggles, those putts don't fall for him. So for him to kind of sack up and be able to make that putt, I think
You know
was
what?
huge.
I'm gonna be a nice guy and I'm gonna give it to Bryson's
I was gonna
eagle
say.
on 18 on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay. I like
Uh,
Chipped in eagle.
And because Harv's not here, my shot of the week will be 3 shots, and that's Minwoo Lee's 3 chip-ins in the same round.
There was a million hole
I
outs
was
this
gonna
There
say,
was so
week.
did
many
anybody
hole-outs, but
see
he
a
has 3 in the
stat,
same
was
round.
this the most
was like
chip-ins
60.
ever?
Chip ins, hole outs. I mean, Scheffler holed out on the first hole of the tournament.
Eagle. Oh, yeah, I did have that.
Yeah.
He
Forgot.
You
Eagle
forgot
the
about
first hole of
that,
the
yeah.
tournament, yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh boy, here we go. He's
Then he
gonna
got
win by
arrested.
a million."
Not that it matters because he was already behind, but he did get arrested.
My least favorite shot of the, or my, I don't know,
least
shot
what
of
would
the
that be?
week, but opposite, whatever that is,
Yeah.
is Bryson's 8-iron after he got that break off the tree that he hit it
Yeah.
to like 2 feet. Just his reaction after was so embarrassing.
So did you? So he had that one quote talking about why he started celebrating.
Why?
Because all of his YouTube followers want to see him excited. Apparently.
my
Oh, that's
God.
dumb. Yep.
That's where
That's
he learned
brutal, Yep. All right, let's get to news. First news items kind of tied to the PGA Championship, but Johnson Wagner's been doing after hours on the course stuff, going back and playing shots or playing shots that they might see the following day. And he had a chipping display where he said he's got the chipping yips, and he was trying to
Yeah.
show what they would be looking at, or I think it was Xander's chip. He's like, I'm going to try to do this, but I'm going to warn you guys, I got the yips. First one chunks it. Second one just blades it, airmails it over the green.
Straight shank.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shank, right?
Yeah.
No, that was the next day.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
the
that was
next
the
day.
second
The first
one.
one he chunked, second one bladed, and then the next day
Next
he
one was
straight hosel.
Yeah. And he's just like, they're making fun of him. He's like, I told you I had the yips. He literally had to quit because he could not
I
make the shot.
It was something else.
Oh, it was so good. And it's just like hilarious because he's trying to say what they should be doing. He just can't pull it
Yeah.
off. It's
He-
so good.
He did go and hit that shot, Xander's second shot on Sunday, and ended up sort of pulling it off. He was
With his
75 yards short.
with his feet in the bunker.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Next up on my list, I had Happy Gilmore 2's a go. So that's happening.
I think we
along
had
with
that.
What's that?
I think we've mentioned that, haven't we?
We did. It was like a rumor. Now
Oh.
it's a go, and so is the Will Ferrell one, where it's just called Golf. It's going to be a series starring Will Ferrell, where he's
That might
a
be
golf
alright.
pro. So yeah, that could be good.
Adam Sandler ended up posting a Happy Gilmore shot this week. I think that was kind of
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
The full run up and hit.
Sounds like
So
Paige is going to be in it too.
Yeah. I also
She is?
had
Yeah.
in the news. I had Rory divorced and Rom, PGA member. We'll also talk about Austin Reeves. May know him because he plays on the Lakers. He's also a very good golfer, which we knew about because, well, I did anyway because I watched TNT because Shaq and Charles Barkley are must-see TV.
Mhm.
But they had talked about how good of a golfer Reeves is, and in one of the Lakers post-game interviews, he was at the interview, and they were talking about how often he plays and stuff like that because they heard he was really good. So I knew he was a good golfer, but right now he's playing Monday qualifiers. And what did he shoot? I think he shot 67 or something today.
No, 76.
76. Dyslexia.
Close
Yeah,
one.
Dyslexic, but
Just-
whatever.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't have made it because you had to shoot 63 to make those. But then we'll get right into Around the World. First up is friend of the pod, Harry Higgs. Needs a chip in for Eagle. Well, not even a chip in.
I was
That
going
was
to say,
like a
it wasn't. It was a pitch from
pitch.
the
Yeah.
rough. It
Yeah.
was insane.
The way he walked towards it, yeah, he needed to make it on 18.
to tie Gore.
Holes it.
Holds it and then wins in a playoff.
Yeah.
So friend
That
of the pod.
camera angle with him walking towards it was unreal.
Well, and it was like he was walking towards. You couldn't tell if he was walking it in or just like, yeah, I know it's up there somewhere.
Probably, yeah, trying to have a look because he was so far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Harry Higgs wins on the Corn Ferry Tour. On the PGA Americas, Harry Hillier shot 59 on the PGA Americas Tour and ended up winning by 8 shots.
Blowout.
Yeah, so absolutely blew it. Stu Mack missed the cut. And then last but not least, the LPGA had a bit of a viral infection run through. There was 10 withdrawals.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
All due to illness. Harv made a joke about some stuff. Maybe something to do with sinking. But viral infection knocked 10 people. Well, he's not here to say it, so I'll throw him under the bus.
That is a thing when they all hang out, apparently.
Yeah, they can. It can
They
happen.
can time up for sure.
Yeah.
They can time up. This is a Harv joke. We're just relaying it. But in case you missed it,
Not my words.
Yeah, we didn't
wasn't
say
my
it.
words.
He
Yeah.
said
Yeah,
it.
but Nelly
Even
Corda
though he's
won.
not here.
Nelly Corda won again.
6 of her past 7
She
events.
took one off.
Yeah.
One event off. But she ended up winning by just 1 stroke this time over Hannah Green. And that's it for Around the World. Much faster. Harv Wood probably mentioned that that was just a really big, like, F1 cup almost that she won. Like the big style with the 2 handles. I don't know if it has flags.
The
on it.
LPGA is very top heavy as far as talent goes, but it is that as well. Like there's 10 to 15 players that are very, very good.
Yeah.
And what Nelly's doing right now is like
It's
once
top,
in a lifetime.
yeah,
Like this is insane run.
Yeah, the top heavy part is one thing, but top heavy with the same person beating the top heavy is still crazy.
Yes.
I think, what did I see on the Golf Channel? The record for events in a year is 13, I believe. So she's trying to chase that. And then what was the other
Annika
one?
probably.
No, it's actually someone I didn't even recognize.
Hmm.
So we'll see if she can go on a big run and end up getting close to that.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't help but cheer for her, really.
That's correct. All right, that's it for news.
Pick recap.
Pick recap. Bronell won the week.
Here we go.
So it's a major. So majors were worth 3.
4, baby.
4, hey?
4 points.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
I thought majors were 3.
Always 4.
So Matty B's at 24, Bronell's at 21, Harv at 12, and Knoop at 10. Glad to see me tanking for a little bit to actually tighten this bad boy up.
Tanking.
Bronell
On
had
purpose.
Scotty 8. I gave him JT 8. Well, I gave you JT, 2-time
he
champion,
has
remember?
been stinky, but
So I gave second place, arguably a really good guy, maybe to tighten standings. It worked.
in his home state too, wasn't it?
Thanks.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing. 8-8, Bradley 18, and Spieth was 43. I was second, but I gave you JT, so I'll pick 4th. We don't need to know my picks. Knoop was 3rd, and Harv was 4th. So it'll go Bronell, Knoop, Harv, and then me.
So 61 and above, right? Because it's top 20.
Top 20.
Yeah, so 61 and above.
6,100 and above.
Scotty's playing this week. Are you
got
going
a
to preview?
Oh, yeah, shit.
That's
Sorry.
what we're waiting for.
Colonial.
No, Charles Schwab Challenge this week, Colonial Country Club in Dallas, Texas.
No,
so
he
par,
said no.
Colonial.
par 70.
Why do you say no?
I don't know why he said.
Well, the tournament is not Colonial.
Well,
It's at Colonial. It's
par
Colonial.
70 playing
like saying
7,289
Augusta.
yards.
yeah. No.
Oh, yeah,
no.
that's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Oh, it's the Masters.
So Gil Hans was hired here to restore it to its original look from 1936. So it started as soon as the last putt dropped last year. So they've had about 90 to 120 workers for about 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it kind of just got finished within the last couple weeks. So nobody's really gotten a chance to see too much out there. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for a lot of these people, especially the Texans that are in the field this week. We got Griot, who is back this week. He narrowly picked up his second win here last year after making double bogey on the 72nd hole. He ended up beating Adam Schenk in a playoff following that. He's looking to become the first person to go back-to-back since 1950 when Ben Hogan was able to do it. We do have a couple, I don't want to say funky sponsors exemptions this week, but we got the Cootie brothers, Zach Johnson, Snedeker, Jimmy Walker, Webb Simpson, Roy Sabatini, Ryan Palmer, and everyone's favorite, Michael Block this week.
He's playing, eh?
He's in this
he's-
week. We didn't even talk
We
about
didn't
him.
even talk about
Good.
him.
Oh,
Just
we
we
absolute
shouldn't-
we
reeking up
shouldn't
the
give him
joint.
the light of day.
His 15 minutes are long over.
Yeah. So again, neat thing about this tournament, they give away a restored vehicle to the winner. Last year, Griot got a restored Bronco, like from the 60s. I tried to find what vehicle they're giving away this year. I couldn't find it. And last thing, we got 10 inside the top 30 playing this week, including, like Bronell said a little while ago, Scotty is in the field.
And he was second last year.
And he was second last year.
Sloan's not in the field.
No.
Silverman is.
Okay. Picks.
I'm counting it 20 up to 55.
Okay,
So
sure.
Anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so
said
they are
66.
20.
The 60s are available.
61, yes, the 60s are available
Okay.
and below.
Okay, I'm gonna go down and take Austin Eckroat.
Yeah,
Had a great week this week.
sure
I think
did.
he was top 15 or something. Top
Yeah,
20.
he was fourth for a while.
Yeah.
That's a great pick. I have to go last now.
Uh,
We're obviously picking R3 and then Harv. We're just giving Harv at the end, right?
I'm going to take a guy that got fourth last week in Thomas Dietrich.
Yes.
Yes, very good pick.
He played really well.
I'm going to go down and hope that he can play well here 2 years in a row, and I'll take Schenk.
Adam.
Okay. Back to you, Bronell.
I'm gonna ride another hot hand. I'm gonna take my boy, Robert McIntyre.
Nice.
Oh,
I like that.
I meant to write Bobby Mack. We didn't talk about PGA, but when he got another, let's say, X had it last week, his turn this week, where drops are just getting out of control. Took him 20 minutes to play the 7th hole this week.
Oh, he was on that.
He went up on the hospitality, but
Yeah.
it took those guys 20 minutes to play. There was 5 groups on the 7th hole. I
He
think it
did
was
end
on
up playing
Saturday.
from up there and making par, I believe.
Yeah, but he had like a ruling, and then he had to move it, and then he eventually played it up off the top, made par, and then went
Crazy.
bogey after
Yeah.
that. But yeah, there was 5 groups on hole 7.
He said he took a pretty big break from golf and didn't really lift up a club, and then he
Yeah.
played really well this week. So
Yes,
might be something to do that.
he's way down there in odds though. That might be worth a.
He's 90. Yeah.
That's down there.
Yeah.
Brendan Todd is 100 to 1. Like how?
Yeah.
He has no chance at winning this week.
No, was it a short
Sounds like
course?
a top
How far
40.
is it?
It's par 70, playing almost 7,300 yards.
Oh, yeah,
So-
he's
top.
he's got no chance.
Top 20 bet.
I'm
Maybe.
going to take a Texan because I like this guy, Bo Hostler.
Nobody likes him.
No,
There's
not
no
a
way you
soul.
like him.
I
Not
do
a soul
like him.
likes him.
I 100% do. I don't know how you don't.
Insert Harv stick in butt comment.
Yeah,
He loves the visor.
He's a
I know
big
he's a
visor
visor
guy.
Loves
guy,
the
but-
visor.
Yeah. Right. You.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good, a really good strategy, but I'm going to take Griot. I got Griot and Schenk. Last year's
Yeah.
playoff.
It's not bad.
Well, maybe they'll both make the cut. I don't know.
I'm gonna give Matty B. Andrew Putnam,
Okay.
friend of the pod.
Well, I guess I'm going to give you Taylor Moore.
Okay.
And I, last but not least,
No, you got to
I
give.
got to give Harv.
Harv's got to give you.
Okay.
Actually, you give Canoop.
I'll give Canoop?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give Canoop Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, that's,
I'm 14 points ahead of him.
yeah, I know.
I'm
I'm
know.
playing
I
defense
get the
now,
strategy.
baby.
I
This
get
is
the
defense.
strategy.
Need a big
Uh,
week.
So Harv's obviously getting Christian Bezuidenhout out for his top
Yeah,
top guy, right?
probably, yeah.
And then we'll go way down here.
Let me see. My thumb's getting sore.
I mean,
from
are we giving him?
scrolling.
Are we giving him Blocky this
No,
week?
we should
Oh.
give him Sabatini. is who we
Sabatini
should-
and Block.
That's perfect.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
Let's do it.
exemptions.
Yeah.
We could
Done.
give him Sneds. We could ask him if he wants Kisner,
No.
Sneds, or Block. I love it.
Block Sabatini for sure.
Oh, he has to have Block. He hates Block.
Okay, perfect. Both of them.
Sabatini, Block, and
Bisweed.
Bisweeten.
That's fantastic.
I like that.
You guys got a best bet? Because I don't. Do we bother with these anymore? Because nobody comes prepared ever.
For best bets?
Yeah.
Well, I said we should have top 20 finish. Top finishes.
Jordan Spieth wire to wire winner, 140 to 1.
I like
Jordan Spieth this week.
I like that
He
we
loves
don't
this
come with
place.
best bets because it gives us a chance to like build them live on air.
That's fair.
But I think we should do a top 20 parlay.
Why don't we go Spieth top American?
No, Scotty's winning this.
What do you mean he is winning?
He is. It's a given. I think we should do top 20 with Tom Hogue. Hold on a second here.
Spieth's 16-1 top American. That's pretty
Well,
good.
here, we'll put him in a top 20 parlay then.
If you're getting that though, you might as well bet him 21 to win the damn tournament.
Yeah.
He's plus money for
He
top
could
20.
finish solo second and lose to a European.
Yeah, he could.
Or
Scotty is not European, so
yeah.
Why don't we take Jordan Spieth top 10 parlayed with Scotty Scheffler top 10 for plus 366? Just easy money.
That's not.
Okay. Jordan Spieth's plus money to finish in the top 20.
I love that.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
only plus 105. So you got to
Still-
parlay with something, get a little extra juice.
Yeah, you got to parlay that.
Who do you want him with?
Made cut with Blocky.
No.
Made cut. What about parlaying him with a Billy Horschel top 20?
He's been pretty good. He played well at the PGA.
I hate that guy.
Plus 600.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
might
go.
as well. I
Horschel
don't mind
and
that
Spieth.
at all. It's plus 600 for Horschel to.
Both of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the parlay.
Yeah, that's still solid though.
Spieth and Horschel plus 597.
There you go.
Top 20s.
Lock it in.
Done. Got it. I didn't write down any of these picks, so Harv's going to have to listen to the pod and make the picks. That's his one job on the pod for those that listen, is script and make the picks slide.
What's the script that he does? He just picks the just figures out what the trophies
I did
were?
the script in 6 minutes before we
You
started.
didn't do the trophies though, so that's a big
that's-
step
yeah,
you
you got to look at
missed.
the pictures. You guys got anything else?
I'm just noticing that it's Edmonton, Dallas again. Do you guys remember way back in the day when they used to have those good rivalry
yeah, good
series?
rivalry games. Yeah, I do.
Todd Marchand scored that one overtime
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good-ish series, I think.
I think Dallas could
Dallas in
beat
5.
them. Not 5.
That year that Hemsky ended up scoring that goal, like when that puck bounced over the.
stick.
Patrick
was that-
Steffen.
Stefan, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the.
That wasn't in
star.
the playoffs.
Oh,
that
that
was
was,
just
No.
regular season.
That was just
Yeah.
regular season, yeah.
Yeah.
But Hemsky did score that goal.
and that was against the Stars, was it
Yes.
not? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Patrick Stefan, yeah.
And then your Panthers on the other side.
It's gonna be a good series. I think.
A lot
gonna
of skill.
Yeah, a lot of skill. I don't know if it's going to be a high-scoring series or a super low-scoring
I
series.
don't have a good feeling, but we'll see.
It's going to be weird. Final Four is a good Final Four, though.
It
I'd
is.
love to see Rangers Oilers. No offense.
Yeah, that'd be good. Dallas, Florida. Bleh.
Yeah.
It would not be good for the.
I
NHL,
actually
don't
won't
think,
watch
no.
that.
Yeah.
I'll watch the elimination game.
What would be the point of watching it?
The funny thing is, and silver lining here is that the Canucks that are now eliminated, thankfully, only have 2 Canadians on their team.
Yeah.
That's it, eh?
2 Canadians. Yeah,
Huh.
not worth it.
That was a pretty bad break that Besser was out though.
I also think that
They
that's
also
a
look
very
awful.
that is a very not silly stat, but like last year when Vegas won and they had like 17 Canadians, it's like, well, they are technically more of a Canadian team than Canadian teams. Well, that's not how it works.
No.
When it's a super low number, it is how it works. Like Vancouver, 2 Canadians, nah, not good enough.
You're out.
Yeah.
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 But the other way, no.
Yeah.
Vegas winning with all these Canadians, nah, doesn't count.
And Warriors Memorial Cup this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait.
Friday.
By
What are the
this
games?
time,
so Friday.
Monday, I think. they
Friday,
play?
Monday, Tuesday.
That's awful.
Yeah.
I'm
They're-
canceling baseball.
So Quebec and WHL have back-to-backs, and Ontario doesn't have to play back-to-backs at all. So,
Like,
Same.
do I cancel baseball
yes.
for that?
Monday.
All 3 games?
No, I think you have to go to Friday because it's part of a tournament, isn't
The
it?
tournament, yeah.
Monday you cancel.
Any sort of chance at rain.
Or, hear me out,
Hmm.
you just don't go.
I know, but I'm the glue. I'm the head coach
Yes.
of that team.
You're working out of town.
Plan a work trip.
Yeah, that's
Serious.
not
What are
bad.
they going to do? Say,
Yeah.
And then you don't have to
no,
worry
you're not
about
working
anything.
out of town. You're
Yeah.
watching the Warrior game. Yeah, out of town.
Yeah.
Rent a hotel room if you need to.
I'll drive to fucking Lloyd if I have to.
Yeah.
Might as well play, but yes.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just not be around for that entire night. No one knows that you're in town. Like,
Maybe I'll be sick.
yeah. So here's the thing. You
Right.
call it. All you need to do is have someone drive you to work, pick you up from work, and stay in your house. Because as long as no one sees you, they can't call you out on being working out of town. Because no one saw you that day. Nothing worse than calling in sick or doing something and someone running into you at the golf course.
Oh
or
yeah, you
something.
can't do that. No.
So just, I'm not here Monday. You can even post, you could tell your team on Wednesday, yeah, I'm not going to be here on Monday.
Yeah.
Get the other coaches ready for it. You're just not there.
Yep.
You don't have to go.
I'm definitely not going Tuesday. Your brother can handle that.
Yes. He doesn't care. He's watched like 4 hockey games. All playoff games. He's been to all the playoff games, but like 2 regular season games. That's the part that's tough as a fan. Sure, you want to see the building full, and there are lots of people that say, where were all these fans in the regular season? Canute. But at the same time, you want to see it full, so you can't really be that upset, but you're not allowed to talk about it. 'Cause I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't go to all the games in the regular season when it's minus 30 and you're going to these games,
Yeah,
you can
fuck
still come to
that.
the game and enjoy it. But you can't like come up to me and be like, "How about them Warriors? We did it." What? No, you just live here, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're asking who that third line center is
Yeah.
that scored the 2 biggest goals in Warrior history.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that wraps it up for episode 321. Until next week, it's time for us to hit the clubhouse.